Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir Qureshi in Canada around the world. Tonight topic I picked up affordability, disaster in home ownership. Reason I pick up this particular topic is because affordability has become a big challenge, not only for the new home buyers who are hunting for the home, but also for those who are currently owning a property and managing financial payment. I was looking at some data available in the marketplace. An average Canadian spends about 45.9% of the earning to maintain a home ownership. And during this pandemic, surprisingly, in GTA, in Vancouver and GTA in Toronto, it has increased to 79.7% in Vancouver, British Columbia, and 72% in income spent in GTA, Toronto and GTA area to maintain a home ownership. That's unbelievable. That's put lots of people out of range to buy their dream home. How can we sustain this? Why? It appears to me our governing bodies, in terms of federal, provincial, and municipalities, nobody has thought about setting up a system where we can have a good supply of homes, approval process, control of these builders and construction industry to make sure they produce homes consistent with the supply and demand. Demand is high. Our federal government is planning to bring 500,000, 400 to 500,000 people in 2023. We already have a shortage of housing. Before pandemic started, we have 45 to 55,000 units short across Canada. And then pandemic hit us. Construction, material, manufacturing stopped. And then when we slowly came back into production, it's taking longer time. As a result, our cost of goods, the services, gone up. Labor went to strike in construction, costs gone up. Material costs gone up. Production was not there. And also supply chain where the material is coming from overseas. And the logistic management, our supply chain was not helping it out because we didn't have any control of those supply. Thus, cost of living went up. Our inflation went to 8%. And then it forced our Bank of Canada to increase the interest rate. They have interest rate increases. It was 0.25 in February, now to 4.45 rate, bench rate. Bank, they were charging variable rates of 2.45, some with minus or plus. Now it is 6.45. How can someone can afford it? I just did a small calculation. Let us assume that you are buying a house, a semi-detached for $1 million. You put 20% down. You will qualify at the current 5-year fix, 649. There are some discounts available because when you take the discount, they will have to add 2% stress tax. So I did this using one of the bank to calculate 6.49. You know how much is the mortgage? A monthly payment of $5,353.75. How many average citizen can afford to pay? Out of this amount, 4,269.30 will be interest payment, and principal will be $1,084.45. And during the period, you will be paying interest, more interest than your principal. So basically is 1/4 of your payment. How many household can afford P&I of $5,353.75? Tell me, if you afford it. Rental is gone sky high too. You still can be able to afford it if you have some saving. How many people will have saving 20%? Only those who have built their equity. They have the money and they're upgrading because there is opportunity for those. Sell it. You might lose some much money, but you will also gain it because price has gone down. I will share the data again today with you because I did a Realty News Flash that I shared on December 7th with everybody. And trap data, the sold data, which was my December 6th report, there is an average home price in February of $1,334,066. In February was the highest market value in GTA. And since then, average price has declined. The price has declined up to November of $254,671 to $1,079,395. We still have to finish the December data. Okay. The average price as compared to November 20 to November 22 was minus 7.2%. But one thing you have to remember, this is based on average price of all transaction. If you are looking to calculate a value of your property, you need to talk to those separation or call my office 905-785-9923. Without any obligation, I can help you to calculate the value of your property, even you are selling it now. Now, sales were down in all transactions. Detached homes, semi-detached home, your townhomes, and also condo apartment. And this is the first month in 2022 where price has reduced every category. I have shared the data. If you are following me on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, or any Facebook, you can look for those my news flash, Realty News Flash 2207. Just give you information about in November. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Realty Coffee Talk, and then you will get to watch 300 episodes about real estate and mortgages. Now, even though our sale is gone down, our transaction has gone down. In year to date for 2022, we have 72,058 transactions. 21,639 transactions in 12 months in 2021. But I predicted at that time that your sale transaction will be minus 40% based on what we had last year. And we have yet to see one more month in December, see what happens. But based on what I see from today, I don't think it's going to be any better. Now, average home price for 2022 as compared to 2021 average price has increased from $1,033,333 in 21 to $1,195,945, approximately $100,612 as of November has increased from where it was last year average price. You know, on December 7th, State Bank of Canada has increased Bank of Canada has increased the interest rate to another basic 50 points. Now is 4.25. It's really affecting homeowners because there is a trigger point when your payment that you are making is requiring more money because there are two portions. One portion is principal and one portion is interest payment. Bank is interested to make sure the interest payment is made on time and you have payment that covers that. So that unfortunately will change because you may not be able to pay enough toward your interest payment. So the bank can demand you to pay more money. And this is a trigger point where they will ask you to please pay more money in order to make sure that you maintain the ratio between the principal and also the interest, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble. Now, because I'm a licensed principal broker for Canada Express Mortgaging License 13241, I can talk about the mortgages. This is why I'm telling you right now that unless you watch your figures statistically, if you don't watch what's happening, and as you know, I saw a poll on LinkedIn. Somebody said, do you predict, because our inflation is still at 6.8, would that trigger any more increases in 2023? 100% professional LinkedIn say yes, there will be more interest rate coming. So tighten your belt and be prepared for it because you're going to be paying more interest rate increase expected in 2023. That means it'll affect your pocket. Now you have to think as the owner, can I afford it? Because you are in this predicament, either you pay the mortgage or you fall into a default. You won't be able to pay money. So what are the options for you? You have to seriously think. This is a discussion you got to have. It's not about that you're losing some money by selling the house. It is losing your shelter and losing your equity and giving somebody else to manage it for you when you fail to pay a payment. The bank will have no leniency. If you default on payment, they are bank. They're not human. They don't have a passion or sympathy to help you. It's you to manage your accounting, your finances. The best thing is sit down, calculate your budget, and project a little bit contingency funds just in case in 2023 there is a more one or two increases coming before they calm down. I expect if any increase happen, it's going to be first or second quarter. On third quarter, it's going to balance it out. And December, maybe there would be a decline. If not, in 2024, you expect the rate coming down. But I do not expect a drastic reduction on interest rate moving forward. All the banks, all the industry has learned that. It created a lot of problem. Now, bigger debt to pay for every one of us who has borrowed money to support the kids' education or whatever it took to us. So therefore, it's very, very important to watch. If you can't afford it, you can borrow money from your family, your parents, your brothers and sisters, your friends. And if they can give it to you, use it to pay, to make sure you survive through 2022, because those are the most difficult disaster period you're going to face, because lots of people will be coming there. You have seen the report I shared with you. Active listing on Trev MLS system, 95.7% was active listing in November this year, last month. That means they're not selling. They only sold, I would say, 11. They sold this 4,544 transactions. We were 49.4% sales reduction. from last November to this November. So this is the lowest month. In November 22 was the lowest month in real estate transaction. So we have to watch that. We have to see that there will be more properties come in the market, and then you have less buyer. There are lots of buyer who have saved up the money. There would be opportunity for them. But again, is how much mortgage they need is going to determine their affordability. You have to have a proper income. I now, because I'm a principal broker, I have financed mortgages for my clients. Also, most important thing is to make sure you have a continuous income. Make sure you have a down payment, you have a saving. Or if parent has given you gift, that's a gift, not a loan. And you have a good credit. You have been paying all the bills if you're buying. And home new buyers, there is a special episode I have. You call me, I can teach you how to do that. My number is 416-451-3489. I'd be more than happy to help you how to secure a mortgage, and you can afford it. There is a rent-to-own program available. It could be costly, but it's better than renting it. So we're going to take a short break now, and we're going to come back and continue our conversation, affordability disaster in home ownership. Awaz Ent in Canada, around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Real Estate of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. I'm your host. We're talking about affordability disaster in home ownership. First of all, we're going to talk about when you own a home, what are the things that expenses that you have to worry about? First thing after paying a property, closing everything, is the property taxes. They are significant depending on location, depending on the value, assessed value of the property by impact. Then you have home insurance. You have to have a home insurance in case something happens to your property. Then you have water, sewage, and garbage recycling. There are bills coming from your Peel region if you are in Peel region. Then you have to pay, or you're in Toronto, you also pay your hydro bill. It depending on the consumption, size of the house, how much you use. Then you have a gas payment bills. Sometimes you equalize them on a monthly basis. You tell them, okay, draw so much money. So in winter, you use a lot of gas because of heating and also fireplaces. In summer, you don't use that much, except if you have a cooking stove. Therefore, you pay a little bit more or regular payment on a monthly basis. Therefore, you don't have to pay all at one time. Then you have a gardening, snow removal. And, if you're getting old, you don't have a snow blower, you need snow blower. Or you hire someone, you pay $600 to $1,000 for a season, depending on the size of your home. Or similarly, gardening. You have a good nightscape, you have to hire a landscaper to maintain your property because it gives you good appearance in your neighborhood, and it creates a value in case you need to sell your house. Looks good. Also, repair and maintenance of your house. You need to maintain that. If something, your washing machine or dryer breaks down, or stove need to be replaced, or fridge stop working, you need the money. So this is a minimum thing that you have to do, and you have to consider in top of your budget that in addition to everything, mortgage payment and principal and interest, you have these expenses that you have to worry about. They are part of the ownership. If you don't pay bill, they cut your gas or water or electricity. You have to pay. Insurance, something happens, if you don't have insurance, you can't claim anything. So these are very essential expenses. They come out to be a very significant amount, especially if your roof start leaking. You're going to spend, depending on the type of the size of your house, it can cost you $5,000 to $30,000 to fix your roof. So you have to prepare that. Those are contingency funds. And nobody's going to buy your house if you have a problem with your roof. It's leaking. It's damaging everything inside the house. This is why it's very important. And I tell you, the affordability ain't going to get easy anymore. It's not. It's not, even though we have a sale declining. But the price is not. As I mentioned to you, over $100,000 average price across GTA on all transaction has increased from 2021 to 2022. I have shared on my episode about the projection for Canadian Real Estate Association. So it's a positive this year in 2022. So look at my realtycoffeetalk.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All those episodes explains and give you prediction that it's not sale is declining, but the price is not. Average price is going up. So you look for that. So you don't expect any. Anyway, when you are buying something, always energy, you look for any discount, any federal or provincial program. You change your windows or change your furnace. There are always some discounts available. As you know, there is a now More Home Built Faster Act. This we talked about the last episode a little bit, but I'll tell you. The government introduced that on 25 October. It has been passed on November 28. The government stated intention behind this bill is to support Ontario housing supply action to increase the amount of housing in the province. We have yet to see what happens. You can change regulations to improve the process. This is where it's very important when affordability is an issue. Focus on how we can help builders to build more, cut down the red tape. And this is what this legislation has done that, because they have said the Bill 23 amended the government development charges act by freezing, reducing, and exempting tax fee typically levied by municipality. So they are and other authorities that can significantly impact the cost of development. So there is a lot of changes has been introduced by this law, Bill 23. Therefore, it will cost less to the builders. Now, would the builder will pass on that saving? How much loss the municipality will have because they need to operate the municipalities. If they are losing revenue, how they're replenishing it? Because I remember I mentioned as our Mayor Vani Krambi of Mississauga City said that there was an 8 to 10% increase are expected in the property taxes. This is how they're generating the revenue. And make no sense. There should be a better way of creating a system where it will increase the production, incentive for them to expedite the process. But they also be following very strict regulation for the builders to take advantage and produce affordable housing. Now, what is affordable housing? Is it a rental, low-cost housing, where they're being built? What are the numbers they need to be building, and how much do we need? Before pandemic, we have 55,000 units across Canada, and majority of the population moved to either Vancouver or Toronto, and then they spread a little bit on the other area. My suggestion to the government, Ontario and federal government, is that especially in Ontario, you have a 401 east-west, create small town or build facility infrastructure and fast railway, so people use train to get to Toronto or to Windsor or to London rather than taking the cars, and cut down on those cars and fast track and build infrastructure, help the municipality or township to build those small city so people move there. And it doesn't overload, prices will come down and demand, because now about 45 to 50% people are working from home. They're not going back to the office. They have transformed their business. Now they're working from home. There is no need for them to go and take the bus or car downtown Toronto to do business, because they can do it remotely. So they have to optimize it. The employers have witnessed that change. They recognize that they're renting their facility, or they're not renting the big building, and therefore there is a influx of people moving away from the city and working. And we have lots of clients that we have moved away from Mississauga or Toronto or other part of the West End and East End. This is why it's very, very important to look at the logistic, look at the cost, how much it costs to operate. If your job does not require or maybe require 1 or 2 times a week, maybe once a week, then you come and travel and you come in town and do business. Otherwise, you can do your job out of the city and you can buy a house. Lots of youth, young couples, they have children now, they need a space, garden, backyard for their kids. They're moving away from the city and they can afford it. Some has gone, to Niagara Falls, even Lincoln and area. And those are area has really shown a tremendous growth. And of course, price escalation as well. But the affordability is what you can buy in Mississauga as a apartment, you can buy a detached home or semi-home on the out of the big cities. So you need to look at the affordability, and also anyone who owns a home, and we have Canadian, we love to have our own home, make sure you are able to pay essential, cut down your travel expenses, unnecessary, because you still have a rough ride for the first 2 quarters of 2023, and then we'll see relaxing and maybe toward end of 23 or first quarter of 24, the rate will come down, but they will never go down as we have seen in the past, most likely between 4 and 5% interest rate in 24. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk. Thank you very much for watching. Our Realty Coffee Talk is on every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Awaz Ent in Canada, around the world. On behalf of Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Ent, I wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. May God bless you in good health, joyful, and very successful personal and professional life in 2023. Thank you. Bye for now.